Hello, welcome to Operations Management MBA670. Uh, I hope you enjoyed the course. This is one of my favorite courses because it ties together everything else that you've ever experienced within the business world. It puts the manufacturing, engineering, design, maintenance, human resources, finance, logistics. It brings it all together, helps explain the interconnectivity of it, and I hope it piques your interest so that in your own organizations you can get out from your own little world and get out and investigate the rest of what's going on. As you can see, the book is fairly extensive, way more material than we can cover really deeply in 8 weeks. So the course will be mostly qualitative over quantitative. There are some quantitative calculations, simple things that you need to be able to do, but there will not be any deep statistics, regressions, linear programming, or anything of that nature. Knowing that it exists, why it exists, and how it's used is important, but for the purpose of this class, we are not going to be delving too deeply into that. If you come upon questions, you have questions on that, because the book has many examples. If you find something that you want to work on and you'd like to find out the answer, please let me know. I'll help you with a solution, provide you the answer to that if you choose to go deeper than the qualitative approach that we're going to use for this. Wide breadth of experience from the members in the class. I think you will, and I hope you will learn as much from your class members as you do from me and the text. Everyone has a different experience, comes from different backgrounds, and we have a lot to share. So I hope everyone shares freely. I will say that one of my policies is that what is said in class stays in class. If you want to talk about your company or talk about someone, please leave the names out of it. But if the situation can contribute to our understanding of the material, that's fine. And again, I would not expect to see anything that we say in here appear on Facebook or Twitter sometime outside of the class. So let's respect each other in that respect and discuss freely and help learn from each other. Okay. In my perfect week video, I talked about the forum questions, how to discuss those, what should go into them. The only thing I did not add in there is that there are 2 tests, one at 4 weeks, one at 8 weeks, 50 questions each, multiple choice, open book. My intent is to get you into the book, make sure you have read the book. The test material comes out of the book. It does not come out of the forum questions, does not come out of any discussions we have. Everything is directly out of the book. One time a student says, well, what's important? Well, it's all important. Look at the learning lessons at the beginning of the chapters, pay attention to the gray box definitions along the margins of the book, read the paragraphs for further understanding, but it's all important. I can say everything, and it's whatever you get out of this. What do you want to get out of it? If you work in logistics, maybe you don't want to spend too much time in logistics and you want to learn more about the engineering and the statistical process control and Kaizen. If you work in finance, maybe you want to learn more about logistics. What is important to you? I mean, it's all important, but again, it's what you want to put into it, what you want to get out of it. I hope that we can help each other in that respect. Couple of points. One of the most important points of operations management that I've always found is communications. It doesn't matter how you communicate, face-to-face, email, phone, whatever, communications is extremely important. If you want to make sure something is done, communicate effectively and clearly and often. Don't assume things happen. Sending emails, thinking someone's going to do something and finding out that they're not in the factory that day doesn't get the job done. Communication, both delivery and in listening. Listening has become even more important. Taking reports of things that are going on, gathering information. So communication, both delivering and listening, I find to be extremely important. Several articles on that, some in the supporting article text that I told you about up in the content. But again, communications is probably the #1 thing for me. Another point of this course, and it also bleeds over into my MBA 615 ethics course, is corporate social responsibility. 3 Ps: profits, people, and planets. Sustainability. It is talked about in the text here also in several chapters, but we always want to keep corporate social responsibility in mind, and how we can rework, reuse, not throw away assets, help help our people be profitable in a business, and maintain the planet. And we got to be here for a long time. So corporate social responsibility is a big part of today's discussions. It will occur within this text as well as my MBA 615. Kaizen. Week 3, we're going to talk about continuous improvement in Kaizen. While in the text it's chapter 14, I've moved it up just after we talk about product, services, process design, product layout types of things. Continuous improvement. If you are not working to improve, then you are probably backsliding. Your competition is going to outpace you. You're not going to be as good as you can be. Not going to get problems solved. But continuous improvement, and the Japanese word kaizen, extremely important in all aspects of the company, not just in manufacturing and engineering, but it can take place in finance, human resources, logistics. Every place within the organization can have a Kaizen effort to help it get better. Lastly, I'll pose to you the topic of out of process. What is out of process? It's something for which there is no rule, no guidance to handle it. At Deere, I kind of liked their motto there that they will go on safety, quality, cost, and delivery. So if you think that as a four-sided box, and if you stay within that box, you have all the guidance you need to handle safety problems, quality problems, delivery, and everything. But if you get outside that box, you may or may not have the guidance or support to make things come out correctly. Out of process. So knowing what to do, how to do it, how to get back in that box, I think is very important. I think in most of my operational lifetime, I've spent most of my time figuring out how to handle out of process items. When things are running smoothly, the people around you are doing what they're supposed to be doing, communicating, things are running smoothly. You tend to take that for granted sometimes, but there is always times that something else is going to happen. Something's going to break. There's going to be a safety issue. There's going to be a quality issue in production. Some parts are not going to arrive. A truck's going to break down. There's going to be a flooding incident that interrupts logistics. Overseas delivery is not going to happen. Out of process. How are you going to handle it in order to minimize its effect and help maximize the productivity of the organization? Lastly, I'll leave this with you. I don't think you should be afraid of operations management. You are all operations managers. You yourself are the product or service that you provide. You've educated yourself. You've built yourself. You've chosen your site location. You've chosen your job. You do your logistics and what you do for meals and living system and groceries. You plan your day out. You have schedules. They become more complicated the larger your family is, but all of you have practiced or used these same principles that we talk about within this course on a daily basis, whether you recognize it or not, as operations management. So again, welcome to the course. The first 2 chapters talk about what operations management is, what an operations manager might do, might be involved with, product and services design, the difference between product and services, the goods, the bads. I will say that this course tends to lend itself toward products and manufacturing. Sometimes we forget to include services, banking services. I've had some bankers in the class before, HR, Excuse me there. My computer screen went blank on me and I had to get back in there. But again, services are just as important, probably even more so. We are a very service-based society. And so if you find us you find yourself in a service industry and we seem to be veering away from that, please raise your hand and get us back on track. Again, my apologies for the short blip in the video here. But again, welcome to the course. Look forward to our discussions. Thank you very much.